Well, sorry for the lack of snow. I'm going to do a video on my old vintage C-9 lights, even though we don't have any snow. And I'm doing it before it's totally dark, so you can kind of see what's out here. And I'll get a little bit of lights video before it's, or after it's dark. But you can see these are the old, it has a G logo on it somewhere right there. So there is a lot of old style bulbs, and you can see I don't know if they show up in the video or not, but typically the paint is different. Every bulb has a little different look to it. A couple of the guys that watch my videos are bulb collectors, so they told me all about the filaments and type of bases and stuff and where they're made and the era they're from. And so I'll go through some basic bulbs too. I'm not going to take them out of the sockets. I'll get some that are in the house, some of the spare bulbs. This is a Westinghouse, and it has the little, I don't know if that shows up in the video or not, but there is a little W, and the paint is different slightly on the Westinghouse. And I have them like this that are, and that's a GE, and it's a block letter. It just says a letter G dash letter E right there. I don't know if that shows up in the video or not. That's a very old bulb. Another G with the round logo, and I can't tell if they're showing up in the video, the logos, or not. Some of the finish is peeled off. Those are like the, that's why I don't use those bulbs style up that much. They peel. And I got them on the garage too, the old C9s. That's a typical outside painted, what they do. They peel and bleed light like that. And that there is some of the old, newer style with outside paint. That is a GE, but I think that the stuff is all peeled on it. It used to have a GE D27 on it, I think. Some of the bulbs that are illuminated, if they're not illuminated in the video, are just blinkers. It is raining out, so there might be a spot or two of water on the lens. I'll wipe it off here in a moment. These are the only LED lights I use, and they're in this wreath, and they're out of the weather, so they seem to last. This has the old C9 or C7G, C7, and they're twinkling red bulbs in the red bells. And then these are the candles that I restored, and there is a past video on doing these. I'll put a link in the description to the restoration of the blow mold candles. And then I'll do the lights from both the porch and from the front yard. And a lot of these are those old vintage ceramic inside coated bulbs. And I have a burned out one. I'll break it and I'll show you what I mean by the coating on the inside. And I put the sparkling, the twinkle lights that sparkle. See how it has a little, every fifth bulb blinks on the sparkling ones. And they just kind of add to the, make it look like there's a breeze even when it's calm with the cedar roping. And you can see the snowflakes, I think, too, through the, and they're cut, plasma cut. I think there's 45 or 50 snowflakes. No two of them are the same, true to snowflakes. And we're looking inside the front window there. Redid my landscaping, so the front's a little different, and I decided to go with just 3 colors, red, green, and white, or clear, so to speak. So I did the 3 boxwood in red, and then the white or clear trunks. And then these are Rose of Sharon, so those are green and where the foliage is. And again, the lights up on the porch and the snowflakes. And I came out here this time so the snowflakes would show up a little better. You know, this camera doesn't film well in the dark. And then this cedar, that was originally there. I never moved it. That's a new tree, and I did it up with just white C-9s, and it kind of looks Charlie Brownish. And then this shrub here was up over there, and then as you remember there was a holly over there in last year's with the blinking C-9s and the twinkling mini lights. So there we go. And you can kind of see I had a plum here that I cut down, so the stump is still here. And I replaced, and the sewer line runs out here, and you know, roots were getting in the sewer line, so that was another reason why I wanted to get it down. See if I can get a little better view of the snowflakes. In the sun, they really show up well. Every time somebody would come over to visit, I'd give them a piece of paper and a pair of scissors. Have them cut. Sorry about the old beater that just went by with a noisy muffler. I'd just have them cut out snowflakes, and then I'd trace them onto sheet metal and cut them out and paint them up. They're just auto body sheet metal cut out with a plasma cutter. Oak leaf caught in that one. They're painted in their colors and then glitter painted over with silver or gold glitter over the paint. Hey, you get a little bit of breeze and they blow around and it looks pretty nice. I've never had them fall down or get tangled up or anything, and we've had some pretty good windstorms with them. And the lights from standing on the front porch. So I grabbed a bunch of my bulbs here. You can see some of them have, I just grabbed a handful. Some have the G black lettering with that style of base. This has the G with the silver base. And these bases usually say where they're made, although I don't see any writing. Usually they're around the shoulder here. It does say something on there, just too tiny, and you know, these are old bulbs, so sometimes it's hard to read what they say on them. These are all inside ceramic coating, and you can see some of them, you know, they're a little bit of where the paint wasn't there at the very base. That's got the G or round logo, but it doesn't say anything on the base either. This one does say something on the base. Let's see what. And it's really hard to read. It says US, made in USA. It's written this way. Oh, made in USA. It's got the black letter G. It's got the big G logo on it. And a lot of these bulbs are kind of worn looking because they are used bulbs. I buy them in estate sales. I don't buy my bulbs new ever. and sometimes they're a little weathered looking. That one says something on the base too. Oh, it's got the little, I think it has a little dash. I find these bulbs that have a little dash in the base, they blink, they're twinklers. And this one has that mark. So this is probably a, I don't know if you can see it right there or not, but I find the ones that twinkle have that mark, so that might be a blinker. I don't know what, this is kind of a peach color, but I think they illuminate more of an orange, and then you get this like canary yellow. This one says, this one has rating on the base too. 120 volt, Taiwan. That one doesn't, if it says something I can't, that's a Westinghouse. Now there's a Westinghouse logo. It's kind of like the G logo, it's just a W instead of G, so let's see if I can get them both. I don't know if they're showing up there or not. That one says USA on it. That's a G, and it doesn't say anything on the base. This is an inside or outside painted bulb, so I'm gonna. These are the kind that peel, and I'll break a couple bulbs here. I do have one that's bad here up on my toolbox. I'll bust it, and we'll bust this one's bad too. That's why I brought it. It's got the block letter GE, and it says something on the base too. It says USA. That's all it says. It doesn't say made in. It's got like a little dot USA and then a dot. So all you bulb guys out there, one of them sent me some pretty interesting. This one says USA too, but that's the way you read it the correct way. And it's right on this part of the base right there. I don't know if it shows up or not. That one says USA, and that one's quite clear. I don't know if that shows up or not. And that's a GE bulb. That one says 120 volt. Or 120 V, I should say, Japan. It says Japan on the base. These are called satin glow. And you can see the filament in these when they're illuminated. It's like a yellow G, and it says something on the base here. It did. Well, I guess it doesn't. I was imagining things. And then I don't know what kind of brand of bulb this is. It does not say. And I don't think G made an orange one like this. And it says USA on it. Might be a Westinghouse. All right, let me bust a couple bulbs here, and I'll show you the paint surface. So I have two GEs here. This is an outside coated. That's an inside ceramic. They're both bad. This is actually probably from the late 70s, early 80s, even though it's outside paint. And this would probably be from the mid 70s back to the probably early 70s. I think they had that round logo, maybe even back into the 60s a bit. I think that block letter is the older than the ones there, but you can kind of see if I take this screwdriver, you can peel the paint right off. See how the paint peels? And eventually the weather does that to the bulbs too. These ones, you can gouge them all day long. You won't mess up the paint because the paint's on the inside. Now I'll bust this bulb. So I'm just going to wrap the bulb up in a towel before I burst it so I don't make too big of a mess. I don't want to smash it in a bazillion pieces. If I can avoid it. Alright, so now you can see the little doohickey that, and unfortunately that's smashed. The little doohickey, the little robot is what I call him. It kind of looks like a little robot in there from Lost in Space. But you can see now that the finish is on the inside. I'm going to try and do this. Let me see if I can mount the camera somehow. Okay, now you can see this is the inside of the bulb. And see how that coating just doesn't scrape off? That's why I get these bulbs. They just don't make them like this anymore. Let me see if I can. If you look at that piece, you can see a little bit of the clear there. But these bulbs are really durable, really rugged bulbs. Yeah, I can't even peel that ceramic. They're ceramic coated on the inside, and they are really rugged bulbs. Let me see if I can find one that's I can maybe peel the paint on. You ready? Oh, that's a rugged bulb. See how that coating, that's the inside of the bulb. See how you can, so that's an inside painted bulb. So you can see that's the outside from the way the bulb curved. So that's an inside. You saw ceramic coated, inside coated, a painted inside coated, and a painted exterior coated. So now you can kind of see why I like the inside, these style of bulbs better, and you can kind of see the little robot in this one for the filament, and the little leads that hold the filament kind of got broken. There's the all little doodads for the. Let me move the paper towel, maybe it'll show up better against the dark background. So there you go. There's what the inside of these type of bulbs look like, and that's still bent there. And then the filament hangs from these. I don't think those are where they're supposed to be. But you get the picture. And I guess as long as we're busting bulbs here, let's bust this one too. Seeing we're having a little bit of fun breaking light bulbs. I'm going to use the ball peen and see if that makes any difference. That one smells like it really fried when it burned out. It actually stinks a little bit now that it's broken, but you can kind of see this is the outside painted bulb. So there's nothing that's gonna, that'll just peel and it'll just be a clear bulb once the water gets under there and they peel. And then, when you pack them away, they get chipped. And they just don't look good when they're illuminated. And that's a good place to keep spare bulbs in the base of my lemon tree. Those are usually outside in the summer. I don't know if the filament shape will show up in that lamp that's blinking. It might be blinding the camera out. Some of these blues are really deep. Really super deep blue. Really deep reds, but they're a little brighter. The GEs are brighter than those other blues. I don't know what brand though. These are just super deep. So you can kind of see the filament and the robot in this. And it's probably blinding it out, so I'm not gonna. This is like one of those satin glows in a C-9, and I don't know if that shows up or not, but you can actually see the filament in that bulb. That's the way those are. So it's a little darker, and there's another one of those satin glow in a C-9. When those are out, It's kind of an iridescent-y, silvery color. I don't know if that shows up or not. This is a snow fountain cherry. It's a dwarf snow fountain cherry. It's a man-made, man-grafted tree. It's not natural in nature. Lighting is much better and the neighbor's lights are on now. I gave my neighbor those transparent C-9s, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and she finally put them up. And I gave her the green lights, and I picked them up in an estate sale, and I just had tons of them. So I gave those to her when she was out here putting lights up. She said she needed some more lights, so I went and got them. Looks pretty nice. I rather like it. It's hard to walk and hold the camera still. I bounce around as I walk. And the GoPro doesn't have a shaky thing on it. It's like a wine bottle with lights in it. This was from Perry Drug back in the probably the late 60s. I've had that since I was just a little tiny kid. My mom got it and used to put it in my bedroom on the dresser. Lighted ice. I think that's might be one of those. That's just a regular G. Maybe it's satin glow. I don't know. Crystal light reflectors. Oh, we got a bubbler there. It needs a little shake. When they don't bubble, you just take them out. Give them a little shake. Put them back in the socket. It's a fluorescent. And this has, somewhere around here, there's opaque bulbs that blink. And they're have a little reflector on them. It's a snowball light. It's like a styrofoam over the bulb. That's a lava, bubbling lava light. Some of these blue ones, you can barely see the bubbles in them. It's like a pink, but it's an outside and the paint's peeled. Sun shines in on that in the morning. It looks pretty amazing. I think I got some video of it. If I do, I'll add it to this video. And Merry Christmas to all my relatives down under. And any of my viewers that are down under too. I am half Australian. Well, that's about it. Too bad there isn't any snow. If we get snow, I'll maybe make another little short video. And I want to thank everyone that's watched my videos for watching them. If you enjoy my video, hit the like button. And if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all my viewers.